Hey, UCC single takers. We're coming to you a little differently today to wrap up our conversations about parenting. The Bible offers so much guidance on parenting. It's amazing how much of Proverbs, Psalms, and Paul's letters talk specifically about parenting, and how much more of the entire Bible is applicable to parenting, even if it doesn't address it directly. So there's no way we're going to cover all of it. But today, we are going to focus on one of the oldest, most quoted, and most influential passages that talks about what God expects from us as parents. Now, to do that, we get to draw on the insight and experience of Catherine Weiss and Julie Mavilia. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Both of you are raising young kiddos. Both of you take God's word seriously, and together, you lead the Moms of Preschoolers Life Group at UCC Medfield. So thanks so much for being with us. I'm excited to chat about all of this with you today.
Happy to be here.
We picked a text. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 6, and so I'm going to read it out. It's verses 4 through 9, and it says this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. So as we read that and we try to make sense of it and what it means for parents today, how would you guys say parents can get into the mindset of sitting and talking with our kids about God?
Yeah, I think for me, it's kind of about, I feel close to God when I'm out in nature. And so when I'm walking with the kids and we're just around the neighborhood, it's about just taking time to just enjoy God's work. So looking at the flowers, smelling, all the things that spring has given us. And just being mindful of that and practicing gratitude. And we can be thankful to God for all of the wonderful things he's given us.
For me, it feels like setting it up as something that you do as a family, the same way that you would ask your kids to be polite. Say please or thank you. Can you please pass this? I feel like the same way we start the conversations around the dinner table or around, the walks, like Catherine said, is just bringing God into the conversation. What are you thankful for today? Like, what can you thank God for today? Or, that sounds really hard. Should we say a prayer about it? Do you want a hug? Those kind of questions that you naturally ask your child as they grow up and as they start to explore the world more. It's just creating this natural inclination to turn to God. And I feel like it's like anything. You have to cultivate it when they're young, when you're sitting, because we are the ones who interact with our kids the most. And sometimes that's modeling it, which can be hard. But to do that intentionally, to make that an intentional choice.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about making it routine. And right now with coronavirus, like everything has been kind of thrown out of whack. So it's, as you said, making it a priority. One of the things that's been successful for us is at dinner time using prayer sticks. Liz provided them a while back, and they just have different prompts. So the kids pull a stick and it just gives you something, are you praying for others? Or you're praying for something that's on your mind? You're praying for somebody in the community, something like that. So my young kids, 6 and almost 4, can grab a stick and be thoughtful about that.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. There's a lot of distractions. And I think, it's interesting. I thought of this pandemic as a time to sort of slow down and stop and reset. And it has been that in some ways, but I've almost found it harder to, because we're all sort of
There's no break.
There is no break. And so it can be very hard to be intentional sometimes when you're just trying to survive the day. So it's finding ways of creating that space. So whatever that is, maybe that's setting up a time at dinner, so what was surprising about today, or what was good about your day? And, where did you see God at work? Those kind of things. Find these questions. And, for me, sometimes it's almost as rote as setting a timer on my phone and saying like, okay, remember, ask these questions right around the dinner time hour. So I remember, because otherwise, who knows? You want to say hi?
Life gets in the way.
Hi, life gets in the way.
I really wish I'd heard so much more of this like 10 years ago when my kids were 3. But I would love to continue talking with you guys at some point about this, about parenting, about Deuteronomy, and everything in between. But I think even in that brief time, you guys definitely gave us some words to live by as we try to parent our kids. So thank you, Catherine and Julie, so much for that. And I hope that you guys have a really awesome Friday and weekend with your kiddos. Folks that are watching, if you have little ones, check out our MOPS Life group at the link in the description below, and continue to impress God's love on your children's hearts. We know that's tough. The whole team at UCC Medfield is praying for you. Tune in next Tuesday. It's a new topic, but same awesome single takes. Thanks so much.